Dolce Vita is a little ball of nostalgia that represents my childhood world. It takes me back to those carefree summers, full of laughter, playing in the sun, swimming in the sea, and daydreaming. Life was really sweet, and it's still sweet today if I decide to live it that way. Dolce Vita is a warm embrace of sweet peach and warming spices on sun-kissed skin. Dolce Vita is a feeling that takes you to the time of endless summer in the era before smartphones. It's a feeling of joy and happiness that takes you back to the tender days of childhood. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing well. I'm Luke and I do perfume reviews. If that's your cup of tea, please consider subscribing to my channel. I urge you to give this video a like if you enjoy watching it. Post a comment if you wish to. I hope you liked this video's opening. I wanted to try something different. So today we're reviewing the good old Dolce Vita from Dior. I've recently repurchased another vintage bottle of Dolce Vita and I'm finally reviewing it. If I deciphered the batch code correctly, this particular bottle is from 1996. My previous one was also from the late 90s. This one smells the same as my previous bottle, so I'm sure I received a well-preserved bottle. I have to say, I just adore this retro-looking bottle. It's so unique and artistic. Dolce Vita was released in 1994 and it's classified as an amber woody fragrance. It was created by Pierre Bourdon and Maurice Roger. There's a controversy surrounding its release. Allegedly, the formula that Pierre Bourdon intended for Féminité du Bois from Shiseido was then used for Dolce Vita instead. It could have been the other way around. I read this online a very long time ago, but some people say it was supposed to be the same fragrance, or one was supposed to be the other, or the other way around. Féminité du Bois is definitely another stunning woody scent with just enough fruity notes to sweeten it up a little. But let's return to Dolce Vita. Unlike Féminité du Bois, which is all about the plum, Dolce Vita is more of a sweet, woody, spicy peach scent. It's a 90s style, spicy, fruity delight. It's spicy, woody, powdery, fruity and vanillic. It's warm, powdery, sweet, slightly dusty, and it's very voluptuous. The main notes include peach, cinnamon, vanilla, rosewood, apricot, cedar, sandalwood, heliotrope, and a bunch of other notes. I'll put the complete note breakdown on the screen. The star of the show is definitely the peach, closely followed by the woody notes and a profusion of cinnamon. I just love the cinnamon in this fragrance. This is not a spice bomb in the style of YSL Opium or Estee Lauder Youth Dew, but it's definitely very heavy on the cinnamon and some other spices like cardamom, if I'm not mistaken. The peach is sweet and silky smooth. It's not overly sweet or cloying. The woody notes, that is, sandalwood, rosewood, and cedarwood, make this fragrance special and unconventional. Like so many other classics from the 90s, Dolce Vita also brought something new to the table. Well, the idea of a woody dominant perfume for women was already introduced by Guerlain Samsara and by Shiseido Féminité du Bois, but Dolce Vita is an interesting take on a woody fragrance. It's neither overly vintage smelling nor overly modern smelling. It's sweet, but it never goes into the gourmand direction. The powderiness and the dustiness of the woods prevent this from happening. Dolce Vita is one of the most cherished perfumes in my perfume collection. I love wearing it in the summer as well as in the winter. I enjoy wearing it year round. In the summer, it evokes the French Riviera the sun-kissed skin, carefree summer days. But in the winter, it smells like Christmas in a bottle to me. Yes, Christmas in a bottle. I apologize if this doesn't make any sense, but that's just how I experience Dolce Vita, and I'm sharing my experience in this review. So it evokes hot, sunny, and carefree summer days. It's soft, it's creamy and enveloping, but never too strong or overpowering, at least not in my opinion. It's still a heavy scent for sure. Many people may find this overwhelming. Dolce Vita also embodies the spirit of easy and carefree living, what Italians call la dolce vita, the sweet life. Life is beautiful, and this fragrance perfectly captures that feeling. I believe that Dior used this concept in the best possible way, and Monsieur Roger and Bourdon hit the nail on the head with this composition, in my opinion. It's a magical fragrance. Only a fragrance that is an absolute masterpiece can evoke exactly what it's supposed to evoke. Despite being initially released as a summer scent, I believe, it's equally beautiful in winter. I just love wearing it around Christmas time. And I'm aware that saying that something smells like Christmas time and at the same time evokes sun-kissed skin and carefree summer days doesn't really go together. But, fragrances sometimes just defy description, and the only way to describe them is through your subjective experiences and through the memories they bring back. Dolce Vita is one of those fragrances that not many people seem to love nowadays. It's an almost forgotten gem from the 90s, and it makes me so sad, but it's practically disappeared from most perfume shops. It's still available on the Dior website, but I would discourage you from buying the new version unless you give it a try and it performs well on your skin. On mine, it just doesn't. I actually purchased a new bottle a while ago and I just decided to return it because I couldn't smell it on me. It didn't perform. The juice was so watered down that I even thought I received a fake, even though it had been purchased from a reputable seller. So unfortunately, Dolce Vita has been reformulated and the new version is no good in my opinion. I think they drastically changed the formula some 3 years ago, because before 2019, it was still strong. Every time I was in my local perfume shop, I would give it a try because it was a fragrance that fascinated me. Even though I didn't like it at the time, it reminded me of my childhood. It brought up so many memories, but I didn't like it because it was too woody for my taste. And the dry down just smelled a bit like an ashtray. Luckily, I don't think it smells like an ashtray anymore. I absolutely love it. I just had a very immature nose and I couldn't appreciate classic scents. Even though I loved Poison, and Poison is more likable than Dolce Vita in my opinion. Dolce Vita is sort of an odd fragrance. It's not for everyone. It does smell a bit like Trésor, but it's much more woody. So if you're someone who dislikes woody fragrances, this one might not be for you. Now, let's talk about the performance, and I'm only referring to the vintage version. Dolce Vita has good sillage and longevity. It's very strong, but it's not beast mode. I think this kind of performance is very appropriate for this scent because it has to be comforting and soft. It shouldn't be beast mode like Givenchy Isatis. It would be way too much if it were beast mode. It's very strong when you spray it on, but once it settles down, the projection is about an arm's length. The longevity is also above average. It lasts for ages on my clothes, and it lasts all day on my skin without a problem. The vintage formula is the way to go if you truly love Dolce Vita. If you want to experience a watered down, almost knockoff of Dolce Vita, you can pay £130 for the new version, but I refuse to pay that kind of money for a fragrance that doesn't last, that doesn't perform, and that smells like alcohol when you spray it on. And unfortunately, the new version does. I did try it on several occasions, and I had to go to my local Dior counter and I had to ask for it specifically for Dolce Vita because they don't have it on display. However, if you go to your regular perfume shop, perfume store, you might still find Dior Dune, but you probably won't find Dolce Vita because it just doesn't sell, it doesn't sell, so they just don't stock it. So the vintage version is the way to go if you truly love Dolce Vita. I hardly need to apply more than 5 sprays to smell myself all day long, and this 50ml bottle will probably last me a very long time. Okay, so I think we've come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I encourage you to share your thoughts on Dolce Vita in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. But until then, keep living La Dolce Vita and enjoying the sweet moments of life. Bye.